guys, so welcome back to Haut Beyleron. Just a quick overview of what we ended up doing as far as decorations around the farm. We put the fencing in, threw in a couple of light poles. We put in a couple of what are they? Let's have a look. I've totally forgotten what trees I put in. Oops, hang on, let's get off the road to begin with. We do have a couple of the birches around behind the shed. We'll show you them in a minute. Small oaks. So we've put a couple of small oaks in around the farm. So we've got the one there. We've got one around the back of the farmhouse. We also put this little pathway in. So we've got another oak there. We also refilled the chicken food, both ones. Put the little path in that connects down to the path that we made from the front of the house, underneath the oak tree, and into the sheds. We got rid of the water tank because we're not using it. We're probably never going to use it. When we do get a water tanker, we'll take that down to the river to get it filled up. So we turned this into our wash pad. I figured it'd work well because the ground does slope up a little bit. As you can see, more fencing, another light post. There's our little birch trees. So we got 4 of them in. We ended up continuing the fence down along the roadway and down, made a couple of little driveways. We put some more oaks in here, as well as some just some shrubs, just to tidy that up a bit. So that's what we got done as far as decorating, and I reckon it looks actually pretty good. I like it. Tell me what you guys think. We might put, well, we actually can't because I can't find them in the decorations. I wanted to put some more of them in. But anyway, so what we've also done, not sure if you can notice up in the top right corner, we've gone from 2-day months or 6-day seasons down to 1-day month or 3-day seasons. We're going to continue that on for probably throughout the next year, just until we've built up the money that we've got more work to do around our farm. So we also put in the multiple pallet honey spawn, and because we've gone on to a new month, most of our canola is now in its final growth state before being ready to harvest. However, we still have this section which has not grown. I'm sort of hoping that when we harvest everything else, and then plow, because we're going to plow, that it will fix that strip up for next time. And we've also got the sorghum down here. That's come into a new growth state, and that requires fertilizer. So that's going to be the first job off the ranks, is getting the fertilizer on the back of the stayer and running that through the sorghum paddock. But yeah, we'll wait until there's another couple of pallets there before we try and take that away. And we have gone back to putting our front loader tools underneath the barn. So let's actually go for a drive through here and see what that looks like. That looks pretty cool. I do like that. Kind of chuffed with myself. Never really done much as far as decorating around farms. Always sort of kept the money that we spend as money being spent on the farm. Right, so this shouldn't take too long. Got kind of a lot of overspray there, but that's all right. So what we'll do, we'll spread this fertilizer, and I believe because we're into June that one of the crops should be ready for harvest. So we'll see if any of the local farmers have sorry, a little bit of stuff in the throat there. Yeah, we'll see if any of the farmers have any crops that they need harvesting. I'm not too sure. I think it is a cereal crop. It may be, if it's not wheat and oats, it might be barley. I think it's barley. Eventually, that's going to be our next purchase, is that paddock right there. And then that way, this is our farm. But I think from memory, that paddock or that field is about 140. We'll have a look at that in a second once we finish off this last little lap. But if we can get that field, or that paddock, we'll join those two far ones together. We'll probably end up joining these two together, and then we'll keep that one separate, and we'll more than likely end up planting grass on that one, because we do eventually want to get some sheep. So bring that back in. So yeah, we want to get some sheep onto the farm. Not sure where we're going to put them. We'll probably end up with another paddock somewhere, or when we join these two together, we'll cut the front of this paddock off, or this field off, and we'll put some sheep in there. Ah yes, we've also turned realistic beacons on as well. We did play around a little bit with the graphic settings. Hopefully it looks a bit better on the stream. Turn that indicator off. Don't need the beacon on anymore either. You can sit there. You can sit there. Get you shot down. So first things first, how much does that field cost? Now you may realize that the mouse is still misaligned. I've looked and I cannot find how to fix that. There's a couple of YouTube videos that show how to fix it, but I've tried it and it hasn't worked for me. The next step will probably be actually uninstalling Streamlabs and reinstalling it and see if that works. But where that cursor is now sitting on the middle of field 42, the one on my main screen is actually sitting about there. So anyway, that field is 146,000. So we're a little ways away from that. But we'll work on it. We've got obviously a fairly big canola harvest coming up, as well as the sorghum harvest. So 3 paddocks of canola minus the strip. Everything now should be 100% fertilized. For the most part, weeds are gone. It's just that strip that we are missing. For some reason, that whole section, including that little bit of double fertilized section, hasn't grown, as you would have seen. So anyway, no, we did want to be in there. Contracts, and yes, 8,677. What we'll do is we'll borrow the items, but we'll, it's a pretty big field, isn't it? 15. So that's this one up here. Yeah, it's only 964, so we'll borrow the items, but we'll also use some of our own. So, borrow items. Okay, so let's see what they've given us. Oh yes, we've still got our stone picker up here as well that we've got to get back. So we've got 7150 Case IH, the axial flow. We've got decent sized header, trailer, 3670, and that's a decent sized trailer. The DD 24073 XXL. So first things first, we'll get this header trailer parked a bit better. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. No, stop that. Wow. Okay, so we won't zoom out using the D-pad anymore. Wow, just drove straight through that. Yeah, that should be good enough. Now we'll attach this guy to the trailer. Now, because this one is going on the train, I'm not exactly sure how we'll go making some extra profit. So what we might do is tip the majority into the train. We'll send the train off the first time, and then the second time we will just tip little bits until the contract's complete and see if we end up with any barley left over. But we will send this guy up here. Is he going to take off? He is. Well, he wanted to, but we were in his way. So he can go up there, get ready. We will drive this up here. Now, depending on how long this takes will depend on whether or not... will determine whether or not we do take our harvester up there. So we'll start with this one to begin with. What we might do is run the fent up and we'll take our trailer on the back of the fent. That way we've got a second trailer up there. And we can see how well... Yep, that hooked on, apparently. Yeah, so we'll see how well the whole auto worker unloading works. But anyway, we'll get this up there and we will see you guys in the field. Okay guys, so here we are. We're at the field and harvest is underway. Now, I'm not too sure how much this holds. Surely it's got to be a bit more than our top liner. See the barley going in there at a pretty good rate. Um, 10k an hour, that's a decent working width. However, I reckon this is still going to take us a little bit of time. But we're not going to worry too much. We're not going to bring our harvester up here. Just remembering that we don't have a header trailer for it. So we don't want to bring that up here with the header front still attached. That's pretty much restricted now to our farm, or if we can get one of the neighbouring paddocks. But we'll have to see whether or not this will all fit into that one little trailer. Well, it's not really a little trailer, is it? It's a decent sized trailer. But anyway, we'll crack on. We'll throw this into the first time lapse of the episode, and we'll see you guys when we're done. Just quickly, guys, this will only be a second. You'll see that I've switched to straw swath, so we've enabled the straw swath. We are currently running with collect straw emissions, so what we're going to do is, before we end this contract, we are going to grab a loading wagon and our Fent, and we are going to make some money off of selling the straw just to boost the profit of this job. Okay, so by the looks of that, we'll get two and a bit loads into here. We've managed to get one load just from, well, not even a full lap of the headland. I'll actually shut that down so we're not using as much fuel. And we'll kick this back in. Okay, so what are we at there? 82% from 2 loads, so it's roughly 2.5 loads that we can get into this thing. So approximately 30,000 litres. You will have noticed that I was playing around a little bit there with the HUD. So we've got the console command activated within the XML file of the game. If you guys want to know how to do that, jump onto YouTube and just type in FS22 console commands. Highly recommend checking out Farmercop's YouTube video. He does some pretty great tutorials and has quite a few out already for 22. But anyway, what we are going to do is we are going to stick this onto a worker. We are going to jump into the fence. Right, we want to start it, not jump out. We're going to run this up to the store and we are going to grab either a large loading wagon or potentially a baler. We'll just get these turned on, but we'll see. We'll let you guys find out what it is we went with when we see you up at the field. Because if we go with a baler, should have said this, if we go with a baler, we are going to need to also bring the stayer and our bale trailer up to where we are working. But anyway, we'll see what we come up with and we'll see you guys up at the field. Okay guys, so we had to jump back up here rather than bring the fence up ourselves. The harvester was full. What I was going to do was also bring the stayer up here with our trailer, just because I thought we had to drive all the way back down here to unload, whereas there's an unload station right beside the field. So we are going to get this unloaded and make sure we've got tip side back. Yes, we don't want the grain door, we want this to get in and out as quickly as possible. And by the time we do this, old mate will be full again, and hopefully the fence should be up here with our least bit of equipment. Really should pay attention to roads before I come out of intersections. We come back to here, yeah, he's already at 90%. Better get that actually tipping. Okay guys, we'll jump back into it and we'll get this harvest done. Hopefully. We got something. Okay, now for those of you with a keen eye, you can see over there that what we have is the Stroltman, the Magnon 530 DO. So this is a 50 cubic meter or 50,000 litre forage wagon or loading wagon. So what we'll do is we'll zoom around and pick this up. Oh, we want to drop that down actually. We'll get all this picked up. I love the animation for that now. See it getting spat up into the machine. And this will all need to go down to the animal dealer. So this in total, to rent or to lease this loading wagon, was 6,700. So I'm sort of hoping that we haven't just cost ourselves too much. We don't have a baler. To lease a baler that would have been appropriate, so one of the large square balers where we can increase the capacity to a decent amount, and then also to justify bringing our trailer and the stayer up here, it was going to cost us 8,000. So this was the cheaper option, and I figured 53,000 or 50,000 litres of straw isn't too bad. So anyway, we'll keep going, and hopefully the next time you see us or you hear us, we'll have this harvest complete. Okay guys, so first test, create job, deliver, so railroad south, no. Is he going? Said he was blocked by an object, but I reckon he was just blocked by himself. Where is he going though? Not exactly sure where he's going. He's taken the long way around. Oh well, what we need to do is get this down to the animal dealer. So we've got our first 50,000 litre load. Oh, we've got a speeding vehicle coming, but I reckon we're going to beat that one. Can't see any others coming. Rightio guys, we'll see you back at the field. Actually no, we'll see you down at the shop and we'll see how much we've made off this first load. I'm not even going to look at prices, it's just extra payment. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we make more than what it cost us to lease the loading wagon. So this will be the judge, the first load. Listen to the noise, you can hear those things spinning around. Okay, so we nearly made our entire lease back just on that one. So that's not bad. So what we'll do here is we will quickly jump back and see where this guy is. Well, there's the sawmill. I wondered where that was. We haven't done any timber yet. We're probably not going to do any for a while. But this guy needs to hurry up and get into here and get that unloaded. And then get back into the paddock. Now, keep in mind, he went the long way around. She's unloading. Perfect. Hopefully, she gets back to the field and doesn't just try and do a big continuous loop. But anyway, leasing this loading wagon definitely was the right idea. Okay guys, we'll see you when we get this job done. this guy is actually costing us quite a bit of money to do this harvesting, and it's also costing us money every time we try and tell this guy to drive to this elevator, or the rail elevator, which is right beside us, because for some reason he can't come across this little road section here. Need to make sure there's no vehicles coming. No, there's not. So yeah, he can't come out there, do a U-bolt and go back in. He went all the way up and around the top of the map to come back in. Oh. And then he proceeded to also go back the same way. So that was quite time costly, really. So what we're going to do is we're going to take over the harvest. We'll get the harvest complete. Now, I need to pay attention to how much this says we've got transferred. Oh, no, we can't, because it hasn't actually gone on the train yet. So we'll finish the harvest. We won't put all of the oat that we get. We'll probably leave the last trailer load in the trailer rather than putting it all into the elevator. And then we'll just do little bit by little bit, depending on how much percentage we've got. If it says that we've got a full trailer load and the contract's complete, we'll go and stick this, or whatever's left, into our silo and wait for the price of barley to come up a bit. But what we're going to do is, while he's empty, we'll park this on top of the hill, because as you've seen, he's struggling to get up there, especially full and from a standstill. Alright, so we'll leave that there. We'll take over this, get it done, and we'll concentrate on picking up the straw at the end. So we won't go back into a time lapse here, guys. There's only a little bit left. We'll get this done. Actually, what we'll do is we'll quickly jump to there. We want that on, and we want to rent the train. Hopefully he stops and comes back. Yes, he is stopping. So we'll get what we've got in the elevator sold off, or shipped off, and hopefully we don't need too much more to complete the contract. %, transferred. Oh, this is having that. I wonder if we've got to take the straw there as well. If we cancel that contract, even after we've completed it, it's still going to take us for the lost grain, isn't it? And we can't, if memory serves correctly, we can't sell straw. No. Oh, we should be taking that to the heating plant, not to the livestock market. Okay, so we'll do that from now on. We'll just cruise you forward No, you've got to be put down. Right, like I said, we'll get this sorted off camera. We'll figure out what's going on. Worst comes to worst, we'll ship off all of their barley. If they say that we haven't done enough, then what we will do is we'll actually go in and edit in the XML file however much it's cost us to cancel the contract, plus how much we should have been paid. Because there's no way that was only 20%. And obviously we can't sell the straw. So that's a giant's issue. It's got nothing to do with the Straw Me mod. Oh, not the Straw Me mod, sorry, the collect straw missions. I have seen that Daggerwin, Chainsaw, and a few of the other YouTubers have been having the same issue with harvests on crops that generate straw. So we are not alone. But yeah, I'll get this finished. We'll get the XML sorted. We'll get the money into the account that we should have had. And once we're done, we will move on to... Actually, we'll collect the straw before we do any of that, because that's income that we want. Then we'll go through and fix all of that up. And then after that, we will most likely have a look at the used equipment. And if there's nothing in there that we need, we will call it a day. And as of tomorrow, if not tomorrow, the day after, we will be able to start our own harvest. Okay, so we've got this little bit left to go. And we'll just leave a trail of straw behind us. We'll pick up these little bits that the worker missed. As I said, we're not going to get to 100% complete here, because that's, from what I've seen from other streamers, it's a known giant's issue. They're apparently working on it. It's something to do with the straw being considered a fruit type from the harvest. So it just is what it is. Until they get it worked out, we do have ways around it. But what we'll do, we'll get this last bit sold off. We'll move the harvester off of the field, and then we will continue to pick up the straw. This should actually all fit into here, being 40%, not 50, so it should be 2.5 loads. That building right there is the biomass heating plant. It's nearly, oh, it's about 3/4 of the price. Oh, look at that, 6 litres. It's about 3/4 of the price of what we're getting at the animal dealer, more than the animal dealer. So I think it was like $90 at the animal dealer per 1,000 litres, and it's 147 over there, and it's right beside the field. So yeah, we'll get this off to the side. We'll get the trailer emptied, and hopefully we can come back and pick up this. We aren't even going to worry about that 6 litres. It can stay in the combine. Actually, we will grab it. What we'll do quickly is... I think it's in here. Trailer fill limit. Just for this one, just to get those 6 litres out of that harvester. we'll do this and then we will put it back on. Like, realistically, real world, you would put those 6 litres in. You wouldn't stop 6 litres short of emptying your harvester. And once again, I've come out of there without looking to see if traffic was coming. So that could have been interesting. Now, just quickly... can't see one. We'll just check in to see if there was any potential collectibles down that way. Probably about another 5%. Because if you remember, there was 66,000 litres in the last one. So maybe 7%. Yeah, 27% in total. Okay, I think we've been robbed. And we will jump this back into... we won't even time-lapse this, guys. We'll just bring you in each time we head for the biomass plant to unload, just so you can watch and see what's going on. Okay, so I think we might be a little bit heavy. Let's see if we can swing that around. Came around that corner a bit too hot, I think, and trailer threw us around. But we'll get this into here. We'll have a look at what this is going to cost us for failing, so-called failing the contract. Oh yeah, it's around the side, isn't it? Come into the wrong area. Right, so while that's unloading, let's have a look at what this failure is gonna be. Oh, nothing. Okay, so we didn't get paid, but we also didn't lose any money on leasing the equipment or failing to supply the goods. So I'll go back through the video. I'll figure out how much we should have been paid compared to how much we should have lost from, where are we? From borrowing items. So like for instance, you've got 176 out of 5, I think it was about 900. So we should have lost about 1,000 out of the 8,000. So I'll go through, I'll put 7 grand into the XML overnight. But what we also need to do is get this guy back up, get it off lease, and we may as well bring our stone picker back down here as well. So I'll see you back here with the stone picker. Okay guys, so we're back. Now, you may notice that the money has gone down significantly already. What we did was we repaired our tractor, which needed to be done. We repaired our weight. Didn't really need to be done, but I figured while we were in the menu. And the other thing we did was we have now added GPS to the Fendt, and that is our rock picker back at the farm. Now that's actually been a fairly solid day. So we'll shut that down. Walk along our new little footpath. And before we say goodnight, we'll have a look at what we have. Potato planter, no, we're not going to worry about that. Oh, there's an upgraded trailer. We can't afford the class. Even if we could, we then couldn't afford the header to go with it. That planter is, seeder is smaller than ours, but it is also a cultivator. But this is the interesting thing for me. Upgraded trailer. We stick an extension on it. That looks much better. 20,148. We're going to need a bigger trailer because we've only got 8 cubic meter trailer. Okay, we'll take that. We'll deal with whether we keep that or whether we sell it off in the next episode. We'll figure that out. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for today. Thank you very much for joining in. I hope you hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you like what I've done with the farm, as far as the fence and the trees and the shed. If you did, don't forget to like the video. Definitely don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification button or notification bell for future videos. Okay, guys, we'll see you next time.